This might be my last video. We're going to be doing some LemonSqueezy refactoring. So what we've got here is a webhook. Anytime there's a LemonSqueezy event, the mothership of PocketHost gets called with this webhook, and you can see the events right here. Okay, so there's a few things happening here that we want to fix. First of all, subscription updated. Although it succeeds, it says warning unsupported event subscription updated. So I'm not actually doing anything with subscription event updates, and also some of these just outright fail. Okay, so basically right now you can sign up without a problem, but if anything about the subscription changes, it's a problem. Let's go into the source code here and take a look. So this is the LemonSqueezy handler. It's about 200 lines long, and it's getting a little hacky. So let me show you what happens here. First of all, we have a webhook secret where when a request comes in, we compare the signature and the hash with the hash of the body, and if those match, we let it through. Otherwise, we reject it. So there's no way for somebody to send a request and spoof a LemonSqueezy sale or something like that. And by the way, go into the PocketHost repo, look at the pull request. There's a user who submitted this fix. So thank you for that, guy. Now let's keep going. So down here, a couple things happen. First of all, we have the raw data, and then we have something called a type. So the payload has a type, and it has meta and data. Those are the two top nodes in the JSON post, and that's always there for every one of them. Now, so you have an orders type. And then within that, you have, let's see here, you have a first order item, and somewhere around here you have an event name. Oh yeah, there's the event name, order created. So you've got, this describes the data structure, right? It's an orders payload, and then you have an event name, which is orders created. And as far as I know, event names and types are non-overlapping, meaning order created will always have an order data payload type. But now that I say that, I wonder here. So here's a subscription created. Yeah, so you type subscriptions, and then the event. So yeah, that's the data type, and then way down at the bottom in the meta, you've got the event name subscriptions created. So I can probably just rely on the meta name. But fair enough, we've got a type, we've got an event name, we've got a user ID that comes from the meta field, and we've got a product ID that comes from there. Okay, and then we've got a product name. So we drill down into all this stuff. We find the product ID, we find the product name. I don't actually know that we use the product name anywhere, so that could be one of the refactorings. I know that we use the product ID in a few different places. Yeah, so right here we use the product ID. And we're heading into a world where the product ID is not going to be enough, because now we have, in the new paywall that we're making, we have product variants. So I'm going to add the variant ID in here as a way of looking ahead. So we've got a user ID, we've got a product ID, and then somewhere in here, let's see, there's a product name, there's a variant ID in here, right? So we've got product ID, variant ID. So let's change this to variant ID, and yeah, see here I've got some conditional stuff going on. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks like the variant ID always shows up in the attributes here, in the attributes, and then because I'm using TypeScript, I've got to put it in there as well. So let's just see here. Yeah, and the context. Um, yeah, the context here. Let me find it. Yeah, so we're going to add the variant ID in here, and I'm actually going to add a subscription ID as well, which I think the subscription ID is found in, let's see, yeah, in the first subscription item. So let me say here, first subscription item has a subscription ID like that. We're going to try to capture all of this stuff here. Um, so let's see here. Uh, right, and we don't need the product name. That's not going to uh, do anything for us. We have a variant ID. We have a subscription ID. We're just going to add a 0 to that just to make sure that it always that it is always populated. But is variant ID, is that a string? Where did we find variant ID? That's a number. Okay, so this is a number already. And up here is, this is a number. Is product ID a number? Product ID is a number already. See, there's some bugs in this. So product ID, it seems that, okay, now that says if it's an order type, the product ID is in the first order, which, okay, there it is. But does it also show up here anywhere? Attributes. No, it doesn't. Right. Okay. So if you receive an order, the product ID is in the first order item. Otherwise, if it's a subscription, it's hoisted into the attributes for some reason. Yeah, that's weird. Like, I feel like this could be a little more consistent, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. Yeah. So I think we can get away with stuff like this, where first we check the first order item, and then we fall back to the attributes, and then we fall back to 0, and then if we can't find a product ID, um, yeah, I think that's the way we want to do that. Yeah, and those others are fine. So there's the product ID. The variant ID, as far as I can tell, is always, well, let's check that. Yeah, okay. See, the variant ID, when it's an order, it shows up in the orders as well. So variant ID is going to be a lot like this one, where it's going to be variant ID and variant ID like that. Okay, and the first order item does potentially have a variant ID in it. Right. That's fine. Cool. So that should get us our variant ID. And then let's just check here. How are we doing? Are we I'm editing the live server, so it's important that we make sure that we're not that we're not hosing things too badly while we're editing this. The reason I'm on the live server, though, guys, is because I want to be able to test this. So let's go ahead and send another one of these through, like this one right here that said order created. Let's see what happens if we resend this. Okay, so we got this whole thing coming in here. Yep. Okay, look, product ID, variant ID, got the user record, that's me, and no product handler. Okay, that's good. That's basically what I was hoping would happen with that one. So now that was that was order created. Let's try subscription created. So this time the subscription ID is here, and the variant ID and product ID are hoisted out, right? So let's resend that and see how that does. So this one, that's the orders one. Let's see if we can find, here's the subscriptions one. So checking on all of this, user ID, product ID, variant ID. Yep, yep, yep. Now, what we haven't done yet is subscription ID. So let's go here. Oh, yeah, it's gonna fill it in for us. Well, you know. All right, so there's subscription ID. Yep. What are we? Why isn't that working? It's a number. Is subscription ID up here not a number? Ah, yeah. We've got number there. We don't need product name. We don't care about that. Right. So now that we have the subscription ID, let's just, we're not always going to have a subscription ID. So this one we're just going to say log subscription ID. Okay, let's try that. All right, clear this out, go back here, resend this bad boy. Okay, we got the subscription thing. Okay, there we have the product ID, the variant ID, the subscription ID. And I think those are potentially enough. Actually, product ID and variant ID might be enough by itself. So in order to do that, in order to find out, yeah, we may not actually need subscription ID. In order to find out if we do, I've got to go in and get all of the product ID and variant IDs straightened out. All right, so I went through and looked through the history, just through those webhook logs, and I was able to pull out the product ID and variant ID for each of these. And I think these are all the ones we're offering: Flounder Annual, Flounder Lifetime, Pro Monthly, Pro Annual, Founder Annual. Those are all the ones that are going to show up. So I have the product ID and the variant ID for each of those, so I can identify those. So if the product and variant ID doesn't match one of those, it's an immediate error. All right, I'm back. It's been a few hours. So I'm looking at the LemonSqueezy event types, and here are the ones I think we need to support. We need to support order created and order refunded. When an order is created, we need to look at the product ID and potentially the variant ID and maybe some other stuff, and update the user records. When an order is refunded, we need to immediately cancel that and reset them back to just, like no privileges. Same with subscription created and subscription expired. I read through, and those are the two. But yeah, it says an order created event will always be sent alongside the subscription created event. So actually, we don't need to listen for subscription created at all. We can just listen for order created and subscription canceled. Now it says that, sorry, not subscription canceled, subscription expired. This one is when it's finally, like they cancel the subscription, but then they may still be active until the end of the subscription. But the other one we want to do is subscription payment refunded. That's like an immediate, that's like order refunded. And so I'm just curious, when a subscription payment's refunded. See, what's not clear is it says an order created event will always be sent alongside a subscription created event. Okay, but it doesn't say that the same is true for subscription refunded. So I think subscription refunded and order refunded. So we need order created, order refunded, and then subscription refunded. I think those are the three the three that we and subscription expired. All right, and we have order created, order refunded, subscription created. This one is what we don't need. We don't need this here. We need subscription expired. Yep, and we need subscription payment refunded, right? And that is probably the same as a sign up canceller. I'm guessing. So let's try that. Yeah, and I'm also going to pare this down to just the ones that we actually want. So there's that. And then if it's an unsupported event, I'm going to change it to to throw an error instead of all that. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that. Okay, so event handler. Okay, and then we don't need these product IDs or anything. Yeah, now this product handler map is going to be different. This is where we're going to update it to the PV ID that has all of these. So let's see here. Yeah, so this product handler is what happens. So the event handler describes what kind of uh, like a sign up finalizer or a sign up canceller to call. And this product handler map is what actually sets the fields. So what we want to do here instead, that was founders annual. So we're going to change this to founders annual like that. And then that'll be founders lifetime. Which actually that's gone now. We don't need to worry about those anymore. Pro annual, pro monthly, flounders lifetime, flounders annual. Okay, that should be good right there. And then the product handler is the PV ID. Yeah, yeah. Right. So, and then if we don't find a product handler, then we got to bail as well. So now the sign up finalizer calls the product handler. The sign up canceller does not call the product handler. Yeah, this is kind of a mess here. So is this true that the product handler is only called for the sign up finalizer? That seems like this could just be a giant switch statement instead of a weird map with a handler and everything. But I don't know. I guess it's okay the way it is. Like I said, I want this to be a two-way door, so I'm trying not to change it too much. I'm just doing like a little refactoring here. So when a sign up happens, it runs that transaction. It calls the handler, saves the record, and does what? Looks like it notifies Discord. That's what it does inside the transaction. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm going to simplify this a little bit by taking this out of the transaction. I'm going to say just, yeah, just doing this, and this is just going to be Deo now. Deo. We say Deo. Okay, and then this one here. Yeah, we'll change that to Deo as well. I think that's going to be a little better. Yeah, that's just that just looks a little cleaner to me. A little sign up finalizer there. Okay, because I think with those transactions they'll throw exceptions anyway. So this wasn't wrapped in a try catch, so it wasn't, those transactions weren't doing anything. So this is a little simpler then. The other thing we can do that I sometimes like to do is we can hoist some of this out of the main function, right? And kind of get rid of some of these just some of this redundancy here. So like, well, yeah, this one needs to stay in. This needs to stay in. Product handler map, this one can go out. It's not dependent on anything. So let's bump that all the way up here like that. That'll make this a little easier to follow. And then yeah, the finalizer and the canceller, those are fine. Okay, it calls the event handler, and yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, so I'm gonna save this now. Now, wait, what's going on up here? How come this is? Oh, yeah, I can't do that. Okay, I'm gonna actually take all that back. That was a bad move. We'll just keep it all. We'll keep it all inlined there. Um, so let's try to test this. Let's go back here, and here we have an order created. Let's see whose this is. Okay, yeah, this is mine. So I expect this one to fail with some kind of like invalid product ID or something. Let's see what happens. So we got down to here, everything was good except no product handler for that, and that is expected because that order has not we haven't added that yet. Now here's one that's an order created. This was for a Lifetime Flounders edition. So this one should work. Oops, we literally needed to add a little knot in there. Let's try it again. Yeah, okay, actually, I already know that worked because it showed up right here in the stream. Oh, somebody just purchased product name. Haha. Okay, so maybe we do need product name in there. Remember I was saying we don't need product name? Okay, so let's go back here and find product name again and put that back in right there and put it back in right here as well. And then, yeah, product name is down there already. Now, product ID we have, here's product name. Let's bring it up to, okay, type, event name, user ID, product ID. Let's put it yeah, right under here, and then we're gonna make this how we did the others, like this. Okay, and then yeah, and now there's product name. Okay, and then down here is where we say someone purchased a whatever, and product name should be populated now. So let's try it again. Ah, there we go. Yeah, someone just purchased the lifetime subscription. Okay, so there goes that, and that's great. Now the other one I want to test. Well, I can't really test it. The somebody canceled their subscription earlier today, but I don't have that one. But I can test it. I can test it later. So okay, at this point, we have a refactored LemonSqueezy that is ready to be extended. So I think that's where I might pause this video, and let me just go back in here to take a look at everything we did. So we updated the LemonSqueezy handler. We did a lot there, actually. So that's good. We're gonna add this into our change set, and then we're gonna go ahead and add these into the change set as well. Yeah, I think that's all we need from here. The rest of this stuff is Pocker work that I'm working on. But okay, so we're gonna say enhancement, refactor LemonSqueezy logic. So this is an example of one of those two-way doors I was talking about. All I've done is a refactoring here. It's preparing it for me to add new product IDs and quantities and things like that. But there's nothing about this commit that will break anything. So I managed to get a refactoring done separately, which is honestly is kind of rare. But let's look at the rest of these changes because these are all on the live server here. So here I know what I added. I added a Pocket host secret that can override the CIDR block. So I'm going to say here, I'm going to say enhancement, CIDR secret override. And I'll commit that because I do want to keep that. And now I've done some I've introduced here the concept of machines as we're scaling out Pocket host to all these 40 regions. I've done some work on the machines table, but I think I'm going to leave that for now. This one about handling mirror data, this is still a work in progress. I'm not ready to commit that. And this is still a work in progress. So yeah, I'm going to leave all of this. Isn't that kind of interesting though? Like we've got some code on the live server that's just kind of hot, and it's not committed or anything like that. It's just part of the development process that I've got currently underway. So this is how branches get scattered. But anyway, I'm going to leave this one here. Do that liking, do that subscribing, tell a friend, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.